way back in the 1950s.
Well, this bike I also went to my present wife that lived at a boarding house in Capper Street, and I used to ride the bike up to see her.
Wow. So
This bike.
Yeah, it's kind of romantic. There's a romantic narrative, yeah.
We have somewhere, we have a photo of me in front of the boarding house with sitting on the bike.
Say that on this very bike you used to go over to the boarding house and see Jessie. So if you didn't have flowers there, now you've got some flowers to
And then the bike looks a little bit different to what it looked when we first got out of the shed.
Yeah, it's very different. So is it true that
You must have bought a new one, did you?
So is it true that Robbie used to come out and meet you at the boarding house?
Yeah, of course.
Well, did he ever bring you flowers?
No, I didn't bring flowers.
Well, you know the saying, it's better late than never.
That's right.
Just in the first video that we did, you mentioned that I asked you a question about what was it like living in Tumut in the 1950s, and you mentioned that you used to live along the Tumut Plains Road, and you used to walk to school through the bull paddock. And can you tell us about, you told me that you joined the band.
Yes, Dave Heron was a stock and station agent here, and he played in the band for many years. He started what they called the boys band because all the senior members, or a lot of the senior members, had gone away to the war. They'd enlisted, and they were overseas, and so we started the boys band, and they were all people around my age that were in the band.
And how many band members did you have?
Well, it'll be in that photo in the book.
Okay.
About 15.
Okay, about 15. All right. Okay, you also mentioned that your second bike, which was this bike.
This bike, yeah.
You purchased at the Graham Baker.
At that baker's garage, yes, he was selling bikes.
And you were doing apprenticeship. What was your apprenticeship at the baker's garage?
Yes, I started my apprenticeship in 1948, and it was automotive mechanical engineering.
Oh, fantastic! And okay, I found out some information on the internet. £10. You paid £10 for this in 1950, and today's pounds. Today it was £10. It would be equivalent to £350 and 50 shillings.
Yeah.
Today, and if we convert the pounds to Australian dollars, the £10 1950 is equivalent to $644.88. So it's gone quite a bit in price.
Yeah. And I was being an apprentice. I got £1.86 per week.
What? How much?
£1, 8 and 6 a week.
Whoa.
28 and 6 was my wages,
And you-
and so I had to save up.
Like 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 3 months? 3 months of saving. Okay, that's and you were quite happy with the pay, £1 a week.
I couldn't do anything else about it.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
the pension wage.
What about you're also a member of the Anglican Church?
Yeah.
So with back in the 1950s, were your family, were they Anglicans?
My mother was extremely church.
She Sunday school.
Yeah, she taught Sunday school, and
100
she
children.
used to walk from Tumut Plains Road to the church in the dark on Christmas morning.
Wow. And how many children in the Sunday school?
To 100.
100.
One
Whoa.
stayed in forestry.
Was there?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's-
Oh yeah, there were a
That's
lot of children.
you need a big house for that.
But there was a hall over.
Oh,
in
it's in
forestry.
the church hall.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Okay. You also mentioned that you started a business, your own business. When did you start a own business?
1959.
1959. And have you owned a business since then?
So
Oh,
I owned 2 blocks down there. The first block, I bought them from the Shire. They were the holding yards for the sale yards before I got them, and I bought the first one cheap, but the second one was a lot dearer.
And when you started your own business, what was the actual business like? You were selling or repairing?
Yeah, no, selling and hiring caravans.
Oh, okay.
I had a contract with the people that had the caravan park. I used to take vans down there and hire them,
Oh,
or they'd hire them for me.
Okay. What would you say? What would you say was the busiest time for caravans, travelling, tourists in the last 70 years? Which year?
No, well, in the warm weather we had a lot of people around.
Like every summer?
Yeah, in the summer, not
Yeah.
the winter. Winter I had plenty to do, but and I hired the vans there, and then I also hired the caravans to the apple pickers at MacLeod
Oh.
and up at Wollongabung, and then because most of the apple pickers came here and they had nowhere to live, and so the people that owned the orchards used to hire the vans from me.
Oh, great. That's a
And
good
then
idea.
later, when they started to have their own vans, I started to hire them to the asparagus farm in Jugiald.
Oh.
And the most I ever had down there,
Yeah.
I had 60 vans there one time.
No, did you? No, that's a lot of vans.
And I carted them down,
Yeah.
and then I carted them back when they finished with them.
Oh,
And they were all Indians, just say in them, and they smelled like curry.
okay.
Right.
That's right. The Indians love the curry. Now, just one last question with the. What would you say have been the biggest changes, like living in Tumut? You've lived in Tumut all your life. What would you say, if I ask you, what were the 5 biggest changes you've seen in this region, in Tumut? What would they be?
A lot more people.
Yeah.
And we had the blowing down the Talbingo Dam built in the time, and there was a lot of people came, and the quite strange, we often talk about it, the children of the people that came here to work on the dam, they were came from countries all over the world, and my children went to school with them and never thought they were any different. They had different names. Peter Hooter stacked them down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, so it kind of, there was a sort of a cultural change because of the big Snowy project.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
there's
right,
mingling
yeah.
of cultures.
Yeah. But in the band, we had band Sundays, bands from neighbouring towns and cities used to come here and we would entertain here. And we marched in the march that the ex-servicemen had. We marched then and we had a very small band, and then we also played in the street for entertainment most Saturday nights.
Yeah, I remember in the 80s, late 70s, 80s, on a Christmas Day morning, there used to be a ute, used to drive the streets, and used to stop at houses and there was a brass band. Were you involved with that?
My word,
Oh,
I very often drove the truck.
Oh, okay. So what instrument did you play there on the back of the
I
ute?
started with the tenor horn and then I finished with the playing a cornet.
All right. So how long did it take you to go around Tumut on a Christmas morning?
No, well, we had many stops. People used to invite us in for a beer at their house, and we wouldn't get back until we'd start at about 6 o'clock in the morning. We wouldn't get back till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. but
Yeah.
later years we cut it down to a lot quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. There would have been a lot of happy like families on a Christmas morning day.
Yeah, a lot of people invited us in to have a drink, and a lot of people just gave us drinks and we put it back with the truck.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Jesse. Thanks, Robin.
And the bike, you wouldn't know if it was the same bike.
That's right. It's had a major overhaul now.
Yes.
wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's in all my time when I bought it, it was used then, and it looks better now than whatever looked the whole time I had.
Yeah.
And I used to ride it on a weekend. I used to go millet cutting, and I used to ride the bike way up the Tumut Plains Road and cut millet all day, and then ride home.
So you've done a lot of, you travelled on it a lot. It's done a lot of miles.
It was the main source of transportation.
Yeah, that's right.